from the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Good morning, everyone. Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. We are in for an unbelievable show this morning. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Can you guys smell it? Are you guys overworked? Are you guys stressed? It's the end of the quarter. That's it. Fourth quarter is just around the corner. Kicks off Friday. I've got an awesome guest on Friday, by the way. This young man right here, Mr. James McQuiggan, will be joining me on Friday for our podcast. So he goes, nice opening of the coffee brewing, and good morning to you, Mr. McQuiggan. Good morning to Matt Lee, Jeff, Mr. Rosen. Thank you so much for the awesome comment time for 15 plus minutes of knowledge. Hope you do get that this morning, and good morning to David as well. We've got a loaded show. Before we do that, though, shout out to our supporters, KnowBe4 and Ativo Networks. Without them, the show would not be possible, so check them out in the show notes. Veteran November, right around the corner. If you are a veteran, it doesn't matter if you're in security, IT, you run your own business, whatever it is, I want to have you on the show for the month of November. 30 episodes, 30 veterans. Apply now. The link is in the show notes as well. Join us for that. So before we move on and get started on today's show, we'll say good morning to Ashley, who's joining us. Good morning to you, young lady. And folks, coffee cup cheers. I'm drinking out of my master's cup because, Ryder Cup was this weekend. It's golf is just, part of life. I've got a double espresso, whatever you're drinking this morning. Let us know in the comments. I'm going to start doing that earlier, though. Put in the comments what you're drinking this morning. I want to know what I'm drinking, but I'd like to know what you're drinking as well. So my double espresso, coffee cup cheers, chai cup cheers, whatever you're drinking this morning. Cheers. That'll kick us right off into this morning's show, where we start off with Microsoft warning of a FoggyWeb malware that's targeting Active Directory servers. On yesterday, Microsoft revealed a new malware deployed by the group that's behind the SolarWinds supply chain attack last December, and it's about to deliver additional payloads and steal sensitive information from Active Directory Federation servers. The MSTIC, that's the Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center, codenamed the passive and highly targeted backdoor as FoggyWeb, making it the threat actors tracked as Noblium's latest tool in a long list of cyber weaponry like Sunburst, Sunspot, Raindrop, Teardrop, Goldmax, Cold Finder, Cybot, Flip-Flop, Native Zone, Envy Scout, Boombox, and Vapor Rage. Once Noblium obtains credentials and successfully compromises a server, the actor relies on that access to maintain persistence, and it deepens its infiltration using sophisticated malware and tools, according to Microsoft. Noblium uses FoggyWeb to remotely exfiltrate the configuration database of compromised Active Directory Federation Services servers, decrypt token signing certificates and token decryption certificate, as well as download and execute additional components. So, if you take a look at the diagram that they've got here, user, actor, both log in, both get in through the internet. The only difference is the user is going one way, the threat actor is going both ways using this malware. So they're essentially able to get through multiple firewalls, even the DMZ, exfiltrate and get their hands on data and move laterally within the network. Noblium is the moniker assigned to the company by the nation-state hacking group known as APT29. The Dukes or Cozy Bears. Again, several freaking names. Come on, man. All right. This does seem to be Russian in nature, according to Microsoft. That's where this attribution is coming from. So keep your eyes out on this one. Again, I've said it. We're not going to see the true impact of SolarWinds for another 9 months, maybe. Because what we're seeing everything right now, Microsoft's had 62 0 days so far this year. This could lead to 0 day number 63. You don't know that yet. Okay. Google, yesterday we were reported on it. They've had in Android, they've had 68 0 days so far this year. Your software management and deployment is critical. keep your eyes out on it because it's going to be significant. Let's see what you guys are drinking this morning for coffee. James McQuiggan's having his Tim Hortons. Matt Lee's a Red Bull kind of guy. Good morning to Mr. David Hurley. Jeff is having no cream, no sugar, black coffee. Very, very brave. Ashley is sticking with the water route. Water, man. Love water too. I've got a big old bottle right next to me. All right. For those of you that are in telecom, schools, libraries, or healthcare providers, the FCC now has a $1.9 billion program to rip out Huawei and ZTE gear in the U.S. This is a awesome program for those who invested in cheap Chinese equipment that can now upgrade and get better equipment, maybe made from allies. So the U.S. Federal Communication Commission laid out the rules for small carriers that are applying to access a pot of $1.9 billion to rip out and replace network equipment and services from Huawei and ZTE. The rules state that the carriers will need to have under 10 million customers and allow for the possibilities of some school libraries and healthcare providers actually gaining access to the funds if they provide broadband services. For the purposes of the program, equipment would need to be capable of speeds above 200 kilobits per second in either direction. The reimbursement program will reimburse eligible providers of advanced communication services for costs reasonably incurred for the removal, replacement, and disposal of their Huawei and ZTE equipment and services obtained on or before January 30th, 2020. The RRD cost incurred prior to April 17th, 2018 will not be reimbursable. The FCC said in cases of older network, replacing like for like may not be possible. In instances such as ripping out an older mobile network to replace by LTE or 5G ready equipment will be allowed. So they are also financing your 5G upgrade. So the commission has also determined that the replacement of non-Huawei or ZTE mobile handsets and other customer premises equipment, including Internet of Things devices used by end users to access and utilize advanced communication services, are not reasonably necessary to the removal, replacement, or disposable of communication equipment or service. The window for applying runs from October 29th, the next month, just a month from tomorrow, to January 14th of 2022, with successful applicants expected to be informed in early Q2 2022. The program's been in the works for 2 years, with the FCC officially designating Huawei and ZTE as national security threats in January of 2020. So we see that as well. And more political news on this side here, so we'll just keep it just where that is at, but go get your hands on that pot of money if you can. Apple. So our third story today talks about a frustrated researcher who talks about 3 unpatched iOS vulnerabilities. The researcher, who's Denis Tokarov, aka Illusions of Chaos, disclosed his findings last week to the Russian IT blog Haber. Tokarov claims that he reported 4 iOS vulnerabilities to Apple between March and May. Only one of them was fixed. Apple didn't mention it. He's now posted 3 of the vulnerabilities out for everyone to know about. You can see all of those right here in the story. Apple says they've paid out $3.7 million last year to bug bounty programs, but still, Apple, you got to do better, man. Talk to your people. Talk to them. This is a community effort. That's what bug bounty is all about. We'll move to our next story, where an Ethereum developer admitted to helping North Korea evade crypto sanctions. Cryptocurrency expert Virgil Griffith pled guilty yesterday to assisting the DPRK in evading U.S. sanctions by conspiring to violate International Emergency Economic Powers Act and Executive Order 13466. Griffith, who worked as a special projects developer and researchers for the Ethereum Foundation, was arrested by the FBI in November of 2019. His arrest happened after he traveled to North Korea to give a presentation on how to use cryptocurrency and blockchain technology to launder money and evade sanctions. The defendant also talked about how North Korea could use crypto to gain independence from the global banking systems. He faces 20 years in jail for his guilty plea. Sentencing is scheduled for January 18th, 2022. Keep your eye out on this one as well. And finally, the Quad nations commit to fostering a secure technology ecosystem. The Quad, which is made of Australia, India, Japan, and the United States, or as I like to call it, the anti-China axis. All four of these countries have an interest in containing China. This is now a partnership to foster the development of secure technology. It was the first ever in-person leader summit of the Quad. The four committed to working together on initiatives to improve global health and infrastructure, combat climate change, blah, blah, blah. The Quad committed to building trust, integrity, and interoperability, but underlined that suppliers, vendors, and distributors are expected to ensure the transparency and accountability of their practice. Furthermore, technology developers are expected to adopt a security by design approach, ensuring that robust safety and security practices are implemented in the development process. Its resilient, diverse, and secure technology supply chains for hardware, software, and services are vital to our shared interests, according to a White House statement. Focused on ensuring improved resilience of critical infrastructure against cyber threats, the Quad will launch a Quad Senior Cyber Group where experts will meet regularly to ensure close collaboration between government and industry, driving adoption of shared security standards, secure software development, and ensuring that cybersecurity of secure and trustworthy digital infrastructure. All of this coming to light right now, which is a great, great win to see more and more governments and nation states come together, because that's what exactly is going to take in order to continue and have a chance in winning this cybersecurity battle. Folks, short, straight to the point show today. One, make sure if you're on Microsoft and you're using Active Directory Federated Services, double check FoggyWeb, get that taken care of. Number two, FCC, $1.9 billion opens next month. See if you qualify. It's all available on the FCC website. Check this out as well. And finally, we'll be back tomorrow right here at 9 a.m. with another practitioner brief. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Please make sure to subscribe. Hit the like button right there. Give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast listening platform if you're listening after the fact. If you have not subscribed to our podcast, please do so right now as well. Go check out the CyberHub Podcast YouTube channel. You don't want to miss out. A lot of great content there, especially some of our new micro 5-minute CISO segments that are going to be coming really, really shortly here too. So till next time, folks, thanks so much for being here. See you tomorrow. And most importantly, stay cyber safe. Cheers.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.